Hello there, human. I'm one of the cats that lived with Merre Burris Martin. We lived here together, up at her house in sunny Stockton. We learned a lot about her, our years around her house. Some of these things I'd like to share with you about her life. She lived here. This house is filled with her memories of her family, her life, her activities, hobbies, everything about her. She loved to cook and bake in this kitchen, and she was a collector. She collected everything: dolls, stuffed animals, brooches, you name it. Family was very important to her. And she kept lots of her old jewelry, necklaces, rings, to be passed on. She was a great help around the city of Stockton. She volunteered most of her time in community centers, senior centers, hospitals, and she spent her free time reading and educating herself. This was the woman that we knew. She was a good one. But maybe you'd like to hear some memories from some humans now.
And then in my personal moment, she was really lost her sight, basically completely, at the end of her life. And I took her, she wanted to go to do what we wanted to do, and I went to a museum with her. And I felt badly that she couldn't see the paintings, and so we just walked around the museum and one after another. And I just talked to her about what the painting looked like and tried to paint the painting for her, and she just seemed to love it. And we had a really great time, even though she couldn't see. She allowed me to be a part of her life and just kind of be her eyes for her.
I remember once we went to the old age home to visit some of her friends, and she took us to walk around, and when we went to the gym, there is this water dispenser, and we wanted to see if you hit the hot water button, how hot the water that would come out would be. So we did, but then it wouldn't stop. So that was my favorite memory with her, just trying to figure out a way to have it stop.
Oh, that she had so many friends. Everybody loved her. Everywhere she go, everybody was always happy to see her, and she'd come over and visit all the time, which made her happy.
I was very impressed with Grandma Merre. I met her when we were first dating, and then when we were first married, she came out and visited us in our new house. And she must have been in her early 80s at that time, and we went for a hike in Boulder and walked to the top of practically a mountain, and she was just so energetic the whole way, and I just couldn't get over how fit she was, and I've just been very impressed with her.
My favorite memory of Merre is when Steve and I were living in Tacoma, Washington. We had just moved up there, and Merre and Joe, who was still alive, had some furniture that they really wanted to give us.
But it was more than would fit into our little car. And when we rented an apartment up in Washington State, Grandma and Popsy took their pickup, and they helped with all of our furniture that was too big for a Honda Civic.
So we got them in the house, and we told them, don't touch the furniture. When we get back, we'll unload the whole truck. And it was a lot of stuff. When we got back to the house, everything had been unloaded secretly without us knowing, and put in excellent, perfect places around the house.
And in addition to the physical help, they were, supportive. They would talk about how, when we cooked fish for them and, did the best we possibly could with it, because who knows how to cook. We were just learning how to cook fish. They were very supportive and saying, yeah, it was done to a turn.
I don't really have anything specific. I just remember that she used to give the warmest hugs, and she was always just happy to see everyone. I remember this one time we were walking out to go visit somewhere. I think it was a restaurant or something, and she was singing to me this one song. I don't remember exactly how it went, but yeah, that was special.
Yeah, I guess there was like some president coins that I think are sorting by like date or something, but for when the president like was president.
A very heavy bag of coins, which is very nice.
My dad has like made a lot of these little video things for her that it seemed like it was really making her happy, and it made him very happy to make these things that were making her happy. So it seemed like a nice part of this kind of whole combination was him doing these things that he knew that she would appreciate. And so it was nice to be able to kind of contribute to that a little bit. So I know that some of these recordings, I even had my boys and I would go and try to record certain things, like little slogans for like a Burma Shave commercials and things like that, that were just kind of silly and everything. So I would say that that would be, you know, kind of a really good memory that I have.
That was nice. Now, on to the ceremony.
Thanks for everybody gathering here for Grandma.
Having this sort of quiet marine layer of clouds around us really helped make it kind of spiritual and very private, because we were only like a mile or two from the Golden Gate Bridge, but the clouds allowed us to see the pillars, but all the roads and the traffic noise were completely gone. So it was kind of just us and Grandma and Popsy out there.
I mean, just spreading the ashes was really poignant, especially seeing the flowers floating in the ocean. It really hit home for me. It was hard, and it was really beautiful all at the same time.
I thought the ceremony was really beautiful, and I really especially liked that there was this overcast and fog, and part of it was because if it had been completely clear and everything was perfect weather-wise, then you would have saw the whole Golden Gate Bridge, and the Golden Gate Bridge would have been just the Golden Gate Bridge, like it was from a postcard or anything like that. And so the fact that it was, you know, fogged up so you could only see basically where the cars were and down below, and everything above it was kind of in a cloud, made it unique.
And then around the time when we were doing the ceremony, we were spreading the ashes, the marine layer started to break up, and you could see the sort of the silver light and turning to gold and then shining across the water, and then the sun came out, and it was like somebody was saying everything is okay at this point.
There was that element of the sun just kind of cutting finally through the fog and having that moment of sunshine that cut through to the boat when everybody was go ahead and throwing their roses out into the ocean. So I thought it was really beautiful. I wouldn't have like staged it any differently if I were directing it as a movie or anything. It was really just nice.
How we all tossed our roses in, and how they all stayed with the asses, and they were just one big group in the ocean.
The sun breaking at that moment when we actually had the ceremony was really special being out in the water.
It was very beautiful, and I thought your grandma, Judy, did a phenomenal job organizing the whole thing, and the idea was really special. And I was really touched by watching people throw the roses in, symbolic of their love together, and they were being reunited together, and watching as we passed by the flowers floating in the water.
I wasn't able to attend the ceremony myself, me being a cat, but listening to the stories that these people told of their journey out into the sea, I felt like I was able to share it with them, at least partly.
Of chases, I tell you what, there's always somewhere a weakest spot. In hub, a tire, fellow, and springer thill, and panel or crossbar or floor or sill, and screwbolt, a thoroughbrace lurking still, find it somewhere you must and will. Above or below or within or without, and that's the reason beyond a doubt a chase breaks down but it doesn't wear out. But the deacon swore as deacons do, when I do bum and I tell you, he'd build a shade to beat the town, and the county and all the country round, and be so built it won't break down. Into the wonderful one-horse shay. Logic is logic, that's all I say.
Yeah. That was a wonderful story. I wonder if the family members have any messages for people like me who couldn't attend the ceremony.
To me, you know, big family that didn't get to come was my dad and mom, and just want to pass on to them that I know. Although my dad was talking about not being able to travel for a long time, I was surprised that he was really close to actually going out, even though he knew how hard it was going to be. And I know his heart was there to be there with family, and we were thinking about him and my mom, and they were there in our hearts, and wish they could have been there. That's all.
We know that your feelings have been with us. I'm talking primarily to my dad. I was just talking outside about how the different calculations we made to try to get him and my dad and my mom, grandma's son, out there, and how his health was just not making it possible. So we were carrying his thoughts with us, and my mom's thoughts too, and it worked out well.
Yeah, I definitely would want to thank Judy and Munkle and everybody here that has taken really good care of us and helped us get out here and help us be a part of this and helped it make it this just amazing time to be able to spend time with families.
It was an outstanding ceremony. We had a wonderful time, and hopefully the compiled video and statements from everybody will make you feel like you were there.
And that's all I have to tell you for now about Merre Burris Martin.